Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Table Talk. I'm your host, Jake Combs, and tonight we're going to be looking at Transformers Dawn of the Dinobots trading card game expansion, or not trading card, deck building card game expansion. This is provided to us by Renegade Game Studios for the purpose of our review, and then with that they also sent us bonus pack 4 to go along with it. So let's go ahead and open this up and take a look. So actually I'm going to go ahead and open up the bonus pack first. So as always, we have our 2 stands. We have a little backer to protect the cards. We have a couple new cards as well, one for Scorponok and one for Fortress Maximus. And then we have Snarl and Razorclaw. One of them is basically like a big lion Decepticon. And then Snarl being the Stegosaurus Dinobot, one of my personal favorites. And then there's their character tokens for the game. So let's go ahead and open it up. All right. Now, personally, the Dinobots are some of my absolute favorite characters from Transformers, other than the Decepticons themselves. So definitely by far, in my opinion, the best Autobots. So we have this little insert for the G.I. Joe role-playing game and deck building game, as well as the same from Power Rangers on the other side. Definitely some cool stuff there. Check out our reviews on the G.I. Joe role-playing game, as well as the deck building game expansion. And then we actually have a upcoming review to do for the full deck building game, as well as the newest expansion as well. So something else to look forward to. We have this insert, which I believe is okay. So this is the rule book, but kind of folds out looking more like a poster almost, with Grimlock and then looks like Soundwave. And then, so not a ton of new rules being added. There is the one versus many mode. It mostly is adding the new cards with Grimlock, Slug, Snarl now, and Razorclaw being added. And then, so it does show the different modes and exactly which cards to use for those different modes. So you have the competitive modes, Autobots versus Decepticon modes, depending on which direction you're playing, cooperative Autobots and cooperative Decepticons, as well as team versus team, and then team versus team, all Autobots or all Decepticons, and then one versus many. So definitely some expansion on the mechanics there. Would be quite interesting to see how those all play out. Now, by far the biggest card, this is a combiner. This is Devastator. And basically, he is by far one of my favorite Decepticons. I actually had him when he was first released as a kid and absolutely loved him. So now, let's bring this out. So here are our tokens for the different characters, as well as some of the other like statuses and things like that. But I love that you get, at least with the bonus pack involved, you get all 5 of the Dinobots themselves for the game. Grimlock being the best one, obviously, at least in my opinion. But definitely some cool stuff there. We have our stands right here. And then we have our deck of cards, and then our character cards as well. Let's take out this divider that's in here. Now, if you have the previous expansions or the core game, yep, nothing beneath, so good there. I do like how just eye-popping the artwork is, just for a divider. So that's really cool. But as I was saying, with the characters and all of the cards and such, they don't take a huge amount of room in the box, and so it'd be quite easy to combine your boxes, so that way you're not having just a ton of boxes laying around, especially if you're combining the games and all of their expansions. Now, with this expansion, it does require either the first expansion they did that works as a standalone or as an expansion, or the actual core game itself to be able to play this one. But the other expansions work with it alongside. Actually, we'll put all the cards together. So, like I said before, we have Shockwave, Swoop, Sludge, Slug, and Grimlock, and then adding Snarl and Razor Claw to the stack. So putting those away so we don't lose them. And then let's open this up. All right, there we go. All right. So a lot of different bots in here. Like some examples, we have Wheelie, Catilla, other cards for Sludge, Swoop, and Snarl. These are basically for if you're fighting them. Same with Slug and Grimlock. For the Decepticons, we got Overkill, Headstrong, Dive Bomb, Rampage, Long Haul. Razor Claw is in here. Shockwave. We also have Slash, which kind of looks like almost like a Velociraptor one. But not one that is part of that group, and so I'm actually not familiar with them. There's also Skylynx. Kind of looks almost like a Brachiosaurus. And then Predaking. Not familiar with that one. And then looks like we have some starter cards, which are the combiner guys. So Scrapper, Hook, Bone Crusher, Long Haul, Scavenger, and Mixmaster. Like I said, Devastator is one of my favorites. Just because you can take 6 Decepticons that are robots and vehicles by themselves, and then all still combine into a much bigger robot as well. And so I always just thought that was absolutely amazing as a kid. And then we have some kind of basic abilities. Or kind of actions or things like that. So Stasis Lock, which I think is more of an effect. We have Circuit Speeders technology that can be used. T-Cog device, the Sonic Sword, Chronosphere, which I believe affects time, if I remember correctly. The Combine ability, or Maneuver rather. Logic Puzzle, Death from Above. you know, that the shot that they have right there almost looks like it's like taken out of like one of the early cartoons. Me Smash Brains, or Legion Darts, Triptychon Rises. Now Triptychon is an absolute badass, in my opinion. Just this massive monstrosity, kind of T-Rex or Godzilla almost, Decepticon. Absolutely love that guy. In the War for Cybertron games, he was a lot of fun to fight in that. Wish you could have actually played as him. Would have been awesome. We have Tar Pits, Secret Lab is some of the sites, and then we go into the actual enemies to fight that we went through before. So a lot of cool stuff being added to the game as far as the different characters and enemies and such. And definitely looking forward to actually being able to play as Devastator or as Grimlock. I know up until this box came out, if I were to ever play Autobots, honestly, I would not be that excited about it. I'd rather play the Decepticons, but you know, playing as the Autobots with the Dinobots, now it's something for me to look forward to for sure. So really looking forward to playing this expansion, you know, getting in there and you know, seeing how it interacts with the core mechanics as well as the other expansions as well. So definitely some things to look forward to. I want to thank Renegade for sharing this with us. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you guys as always for watching, and I hope you have yourselves a great night.